at second, so 4-6 if you're scoring at home on the field of choice.
And next up for Mississippi Valley State, number 20, Jackson Hayes.
So Jackson Hayes now will dig in here for the Delta Devils. That one gets in for a strike. So Jackson Hayes yesterday, 2 for 6 at the plate. Bit of a slugfest on yesterday with Texas Southern and Valley. 16-8 was your final score on yesterday. 0-2 count coming in here on Jackson Hayes. Here's a pitch, and that one's fouled back. Coach C.J. Bilbrey in his third season here for the Delta Devils. And that one is up for a ball. Count goes to 1-2 now to Jackson Hayes. Curveball gets in there for a strike, and Hayes will go down looking.
Next up for the Delta Devils, number 3, right fielder Tom Early.
So Jackson Hayes goes down looking for the second out here in the inning. So 2 outs as Tom Early gets the start today for the Delta Devils. And that one gets in for a strike. Early came in yesterday in a pitch hit appearance. He went 1 for 1 along with a walk on yesterday. And Brookins takes off as they foul that one back. There's a chopper. Tough play for Lopez. He'll get the bounce, and he'll make the soft toss over to first for the third and final out.
After the top of the first inning, we're all tied up 0-0.
So Delta Devils able to get one on. They leave him out there. It'll be Texas Southern's turn it back when we come back here on the Texas Southern Sports Network. And welcome back here to the Texas Southern Sports Network as we get ready to move to the bottom of the first inning. Texas Southern getting their chance at bat here. Chris Brown is your pitcher for the Delta Devils. This will be his sixth start on the season. He's 0-2 thus far, 13.50 ERA. Start things off with Zach Pace. As Pace will dig in here. Zach Pace yesterday 2 for 3 with an RBI. Walked 3 times yesterday. Also scored 3 runs for the Maroon Tigers as he takes a look at ball 1. Gorgeous day here at the ballpark. Picture perfect. Fans from both teams have filed in here in the bleachers here at Reckling Field as that pitch comes in. And that one gets across for a strike. Count evens at 1-1 here on Zachary Pace. That one hit down the third base line, fair. Just past Eric Williams. Pace will make the turn. He'll go in standing up, and he starts things off today for Texas Southern with a double. So Zach Pace starts things off with a double. Pace came into today's action batting .348, and he'll continue his torrid hitting here for Texas Southern. So now Christopher Chavez, a .380 hitting right fielder, digs in here for TSU. Chavez yesterday, 0 for 4 at the plate, but he walked 2 times and scored 3 times yesterday. So he was a menace on the base paths yesterday for Texas Southern. So Chavez fouls off the first pitch here coming in from Brown. And that one's swinging. 0-2 now coming in to Christopher Chavez. As mentioned, this is Christopher Brown's 6th start on the season. He's 0-2 on the season here for the Delta Devils. Not much of a lead out there. They'll bird dog Pace out there out at second. Here's the pitch coming in. That one almost gets to the backstop. Catcher does a good job of blocking that one up in the form of Steven Landez. Here's the pitch coming in. That one just off the corner. As Landez set up perfect for that one. Came right to him, but he was just off the outside corner of the plate. So count goes to 2-2. Now here on Christopher Chavez. Standing out at second is Zachary Pace. That one again off the outside corner. Brown wanted that pitch. Count goes to 3-2. Now here on Christopher Chavez. Chavez out in right field. Here's the pitch. That one chopped. Nice play over there by Soder. Can the pitcher get there? And he does. He just nips the speedy Christopher Chavez by a half step. Great job that time by the pitcher covering over there for the Mississippi Valley. So 1 out as Zachary Pace will move up to third on the fielder's choice. Scored at 3-1 if you're scoring at home as Jonathan Trejo now digs in here for the Tigers. Another one of those torrid hitting Texas Southern Tigers in the form of Jonathan Trejo comes in batting .426 on the season. Had a gaudy day at the plate yesterday. As that one is just off the corner of the plate. They say he did not go. Trejo went 4 for 5 yesterday with 5 RBIs yesterday for Texas Southern. One of those was a big fly over the left field fence. Here's the pitch. That one low and in the dirt. So count moves to 2-0 here on Jonathan Trejo. That one almost clips him. Or did it actually clip him? It looks like it did hit him. So Trejo got clipped by that pitch. So Byron Robinson now will dig in. So Byron Robinson digs in here with runners on the corners here for the Tigers. So one out here. Runners on the corners. Byron Robinson went deep yesterday for Texas Southern. Went deep twice. Went 3 for 5 yesterday with 4 RBIs in the contest yesterday as that one gets across for a strike. Count evens at 1-1 here on Byron Robinson. That one fouled off. So count will go now to 1-2 on Byron Robinson. Robinson comes in batting .350. Robinson, he's a junior, 6'3", 230-pounder from Daytona Beach, Florida.
Disconnected. Bluetooth pairing.
Chavez bluffing down there as that one is off the outside corner for a ball. Two-two count coming into Byron Robinson. Zachary Pace started off this inning with a double down the third base line. As that one is hit out in the right center field. It's going back. Will it carry? Will it? Yes, it will. Another home run for Byron Robinson. So Robinson with a 3 RBI home run as he'll chase guys in around the bags. So Byron Robinson with a home run, 3 RBIs coming in here for Texas Southern as they jump on top 3-0 here in this one. So the Tigers strike early in this one as Evan Jubert now digs in here for TSU. So 3-0 is your score on the 3-run dinger from Byron Robinson. That one's popped straight up. Will it get foul? It will get foul. So Evan Jubert with extra life here for Texas Southern. Jubert, he comes in batting .310. And that one gets past the bat of Evan Jubert. So 2 strikes here on Evan Jubert. So 1-2 pitch coming in here to Jubert. And that curveball just inside. Couldn't quite get that one in there. Wind blowing out hard out there to left center field. As that one is tagged. That one going on a ride. Yes, indeed. It's out of here. Evan Jubert goes deep. So Evan Jubert Goes deep here for Texas Southern. Single shot here for the young man, as that one needed no help here from the Third Ward Winds. So back-to-back home runs from Byron Robinson, Evan Jubert.
Now batting for your Tigers, first baseman number 29.
So now Miguel Morales will dig in. Miguel Morales came into this series the #1 hitter in the SWAC. As that one is knuckled out into left field, and it will get down in front of Brookins. Morales will take a wide turn, but he'll come back to first. So now, Texas Southern, everybody getting into the action early in this one.
Number 16, Elijah Rodriguez.
So Elijah Rodriguez now will dig in here for the Tigers. Here's a pitch. That one will get in for a strike. So Miguel Morales came into this one batting a gaudy .489, gets on base again. Went 2 for 3 yesterday with a couple RBIs in that game on yesterday, as that one gets in under the bat of Elijah Rodriguez. So 0-2 pitch coming in on Rodriguez. Still only one out here in the inning. Texas Southern has struck for 4. Byron Robinson, 3-run home run. Evan Jubert came right behind him as he went deep over the left field fence. And that pitch a little inside. So 1-2 pitch coming in here to Elijah Rodriguez. Steady presence behind the plate for Texas Southern. Went 1 for 5 on yesterday, as that one gets called a ball on the outside corner of the plate. So Rodriguez looking for one he can pull. And that off-speed pitch, not quite in there. Chris Brown wanted that one. So 3-2 pitch coming in here to Rodriguez. And Rodriguez tough with 2 as he fouls that one back. Texas Southern offense continuing to stay hot. They have jumped out early in this one. Here's the pitch. Chopper down the first base line will go foul. So here comes Brown. Here's the pitch. And that one gets across for a strike. Rodriguez was already into his trot heading down to first, but he will go down looking.
Next up for your Tigers, center fielder number 34, Sean Williams.
So Sean Williams now will dig in here for Texas Southern. As they will say he went on that one, strike 1. So 2 outs now in the inning. Miguel Morales stands on first here for Texas Southern. Texas Southern going through the lineup here as the 8th batter is up here for the Tigers. Williams will take a look at that for a strike. So Sean Williams had an active day on yesterday. He went 2 for 5, scored a couple times, also had a couple RBIs for Texas Southern. Williams trying to keep things going here for Texas Southern here as Morales takes off. Here's a throw down, and Morales gets in Nice jump that time from Miguel Morales as he was able to get in under the tag of Tanner Aoki. So Miguel Morales now 3 for 7 on the season here for Texas Southern. 3 stolen bases on the season. Here's a pitch. And that one gets across for a strike, and Sean Williams goes down looking.
Your score after 1 inning, Mississippi Valley State 0, your Tigers 3. 4.
So Texas Southern erupts 4-0 here in the bottom of the first on a Byron Robinson 3-run jack. Evan Jubert came right behind him, hit one out over the left field fence. 4-0 is your score. We move now to the second inning. We'll be back here on the Texas Southern Sports Network. So welcome back here to the Texas Southern Sports Network, as it will be Soder, Williams, and Stephen Landez here for the Delta Devils here in the top of the second inning. So Chris Soder yesterday had a really good day for the Delta Devils as he went 1 for 3, scored 3 times yesterday for Mississippi Valley. Had an eagle eye at the plate as he walked on 3 occasions. As he takes a look at ball 1. That one is chop foul. So Chris Soder. Big first baseman. Comes in batting .250 in this one. Young man from Sarasota, Florida. He's a senior. That fastball off the outside part of the plate. Count goes to 2-1 here on Chris Soder. Here's a pitch. That one low and away. Count goes to 3-1 now on Soder. Look at some scores around the SWAC. Bethune-Cookman on top of Alcorn, 2-1. As that one is fouled back. Bethune-Cookman making a trip to Lorman. We update that score now. Bethune-Cookman on top of Alcorn, 5-1, as Lucioni gets Soder to go down swinging.
Next up for the Delta Devils, number 25, third baseman Eric.
So Eric Williams now digs in here for Texas Southern. Bottom of the second, Florida A&M and Arkansas Pine Bluff, they're knotted up at 2. That one skips in for ball 1 here to Eric Williams. Eric Williams yesterday, 0 for 4 at the plate. Struck out twice yesterday for the Delta Devils. Third baseman had some pretty good plays out in the field yesterday. A couple of diving plays for the Delta Devils. As that one is up and in, he'll get the Chicklets out the way. And it'll go to 2-0 here on Eric Williams. That one hit hard down the left field line. Will it stay fair? Will it stay fair? It will go foul. So Eric Williams a little out in front of that one. Pulls it just foul. It'll just be a long strike here for Eric Williams. So 2-1 coming in here to Eric Williams now. Here's the pitch. And that curveball gets in for a strike. Nice pitch that time coming in from Lucioni. 77-mile-an-hour bender. And that pitch just off the outside corner. Another off-speed pitch, 76 miles an hour. So 3-2 pitch coming in here to Eric Williams. He'll slap that into right field. Chavez will give chase, and he'll make the play out there in right field for the second out of the inning.
Catcher number 5, Stephen Landis.
So Stephen Landis, who's getting the start today behind the plate, steps in here for the Delta Devils. Landis looks like he brought his own cheering section, as that will be ball one. So that one is foul back. Count evens at 1-1. Stephen Landis came in batting .276. He's a 5'9", 210-pound junior from Las Vegas, Nevada. Bishop Gorman High School. Played some pretty good football out that way. That one off the outside corner. So count goes to 3-1 now here on Stephen Landis. Landis last week against Arkansas Pine Bluff, he went 1 for 5 in that series. Getting a start today as that one is skied straight up the middle. Going out is Lopez, coming in is Williams. Williams will call him off, and he'll make the play. So no runs, no hits, nobody left on. 3 up, 3 down here. As we move now to the bottom of the second, Texas Southern on top, 4-0. We'll be back here on the Texas Southern Sports Network. So welcome back in here to the Texas Southern Sports Network, as it will be Lopez, Pace, and Chavez here for the Tigers here in the bottom of the second inning. So Nate Lopez will dig in. Nate Lopez comes in batting .333. Lopez yesterday, active day at the plate, went 3 for 5 for Texas Southern in game one as he takes a look at ball one. So Nate Lopez trying to get things up and going here for Texas Southern here in the bottom of the second. That one gets in for a strike, evens up the count at 1-1. Nate Lopez, 5'8", 165-pound senior from Katy, Texas. As that one is chop foul. Count goes to 1-2 now here on the senior second baseman. Of course, TSU comes into this one 3-1 thus far in conference play. They trail only Bethune-Cookman and Arkansas Pine Bluff, who are both 4-0 thus far in conference play, as that curveball spins just inside, not able to catch the plate. So count goes to 2-1 here on Lopez. Great representation here from the homestanding Tiger fan base. We've come out to catch some of this good Saturday action here. And they'll say Lopez offered at that one, and he'll go down swinging. So we go back to the top of the lineup as Zach Pace will dig in here for Texas Southern. He doubled back in the first inning to get things up and going for this Texas Southern offense.
Bluetooth connected.
Pace will take a look at strike one there. Pace, impressive looking left fielder, 6'4", 220-pounder from Colorado Springs, Texas. That one will skip in the dirt. The count evens at 1-1. Pace transferred in from Indian Hills Community College. That one wrapped in the right field, giving chase, and it'll get out of here. Out toward the tennis courts out there. So an opposite field jack here for Zachary Pace, as he will round the bags here for Texas Southern. And Texas Southern now, 3 home runs early in this contest. 5-0 is your score. So Chris Chavez now will dig in here for the Tigers. Bats are alive early in this one here for the Texas Southern Tigers. Chavez, 0 for 1. As the tennis players out there just beyond the right field fence, nice enough to throw that ball back in. Chavez planted one right in the middle of a set. So that one a little low. Two balls, no strikes here to Chris Chavez. That one off the outside part of the plate. 3-0 now coming into Chavez. Zachary Pace, I should say. Opposite field home run. So Pace continue to get it done at the plate. That one catches it outside corner. Count goes to 3-1 now on Christopher Chavez. Home runs today from Byron Robinson, Evan Jubert, and now Zachary Pace. That one gets across the plate for a strike. So Brown fights back in this count. 3-2. Now coming in to Christopher Chavez. And Chavez able to coax the walk out of Brown.
Now batting for your Tigers, shortstop number 5, Jonathan Trejo.
So Jonathan Trejo now will dig in here for TSU. Trejo, he was hit by a pitch back in the first inning. Chavez, Red State lead down there, conservative. That one is popped up. Coming in is the right fielder, and he will make the play for
Up next for Texas Southern,
Mississippi Valley in the form of Tom Early.
Robinson, number 35.
So Byron Robinson now digs in here for Texas Southern. So 2 outs now in the inning. So Byron Robinson is absolutely torching this Valley pitching, as he has 3 home runs early in this series. Homered back in the first inning. That one up a little bit. Count evens at 1-1. Robinson now has 7 RBIs already in this 3-game series, as that one skips just off the plate for another ball. Chavez, not much of a lead down there. That one off the outside part of the plate for another ball. Count goes to 3-1 now here on Byron Robinson. Got to be very careful where you put this one here to the slugger. Christopher Chavez only 1 for 1 thus far on the season on stolen bases, as that one is down and in. So Robinson able to coax the walk out of Brown.
TSU third baseman number 9, Evan Schubert.
So Evan Schubert now will dig in here for Texas Southern, as the Mississippi Valley Brain Trust will go out and go talk to their pitcher. Coach C.J. Bilbrey, here in his 3rd season, trying to get this Valley State program up and going. It looks as though he'll make the call to the bullpen. So we'll take a break. We'll come back with the new Delta Devil pitcher here on the Texas Southern Sports Network. 5-0 is your score. Welcome back here to the Texas Southern Sports Network as the new pitcher coming in here for the Delta Devils is James Snipes. Snipes, he's a 6'3", 200-pound senior from Woodstock, Georgia. This will be his 7th appearance on the season. Last saw action against Arkansas Pine Bluff last weekend. Won an inning and a third, gave up 5 hits, 4 earned in the game against the Golden Lions. So he will start things off as he plants one right in the back of Evan Jubert. So Jubert will get on via hit by pitch.
Next up for Texas Southern, your first baseman, number 29, Miguel Morales.
So now bases full of Texas Southern Tigers as the dangerous Miguel Morales will dig in here for Texas Southern. Morales singled out to left field back in the first. Also stole a base for Texas Southern. So bases loaded. 2 outs here as Snipe starts him off with a strike. And that one hit out into center field, giving chase out there and making the play is Gabe Hulsig for the Delta Devils. So Texas Southern, they leave 3 on. We move now to the 3rd inning. Texas Southern 5, Mississippi Valley not yet. We'll be back here on the Texas Southern Sports Network. Welcome back in on Texas Southern Sports Network as we get ready to move to the 3rd inning.
Leading off for the Delta Devils,
Texas Southern on top 5-0. So Cody Leeming now will dig in here for the Delta Devils. So Leeming on yesterday had a big day at the plate for Mississippi Valley. Went 2 for 5. 3 RBIs. Did have that home run he hit over the left center field fence. So Leeming has a little bit of pop in the bat here for the Delta Devils. That one wrapped into left field. So Cody Leeming continues his hot hitting here for Mississippi Valley State.
Up next for
His
Mississippi
3rd
Valley
hit
State,
here in
number
this
2,
series.
Gabe Hulsig.
So Gabe Hulsing now will dig in here for the Delta Devils. Hulsing yesterday, 2 for 4 in game 1. Also scored 1 for the Delta Devils on yesterday. Here's the pitch in from Lucioni, and that one is a little low for ball 1. Evan Jubert. He'll play in on the apron. Here's a pitch coming in. That one gets across for a strike. The count evens up at 1-1. Not much of a lead down there from Lemmy. Here's the pitch. Curveball gets the outside corner. Nice pitch coming in from Lucioni. So 1-2 now here to Hulsick. That one off the outside part of the plate. Count evens up at 2-2. Outfield plays him straight up. The McGregor Park winds whipping out there in the outfield. His Old Glory waving from side to side out there in left center field. And that's a nice off-speed pitch in under the bat as Hulsick will go down swinging.
Next up for the Delta Devils at the top of the order, number 1, second baseman Tanner Aoki.
So we go back to the top of the lineup here for the Delta Devils. Tanner Aoki will dig in. He walked back in the first. Was cut down. 4-6 fielder's choice. Here's the pitch. Runner takes off. Here's the throw from Elijah Rodriguez. Skips in, and it'll go out into center field. But Sean Williams alertly backing up the play, and it'll be a stolen base here for Cody Lemming. Here's a pitch that gets in for a strike. So Lemming now, 3 for 5 on the year, stolen bases. That is his third stolen base on the season. So the Delta Devils got a runner in scoring position here. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. As Aoki goes down here for the second out in the inning. So Kendall Brookins now will dig in here for the Delta Devils. Brookins reached first back in the first inning. Fielder's choice officially 0 for 1 today. Brookins batting .326 on the season for the Delta Devils. That curveball gets in for a strike. Nice pitch there from Lucioni. Two outs, runner on second. That one striped out into center field. Sean Williams can't quite get there. That one will roll to the fence as Lemming will come around and Brookins showing off the speed. It will be a triple for Kendall Brookins. So Brookins with a triple. And he'll get an RBI on that one as Lemming comes around to score here for the Delta Devils. So Jackson Haynes now will dig in here for the Delta Devils. Haynes 271. He's DHing today. Caught yesterday. 0 for 1. Struck out looking back in the first inning. So 5-1 is your new score. As the Delta Devils able to scratch a run across here in this inning. So Kendall Brookins stands over there on third as another opportunity here for the Delta Devils. Here's the pitch. That one a little inside for a ball. Count goes to 2-1 here on Jackson Haynes. That one is chopped foul. Bleachers starting to fill up over here on the Texas Southern side down the third base line. Here's the pitch coming in from Lucioni. That fastball just off the corner. Count now runs full here on Jackson Haynes. Haynes, 6'3", 235-pounder. He's a senior from Walnut Springs, Texas, as he pops that one straight up. Sean Williams will shade his eyes out there and make the play. A little bit of an adventure, but Williams makes the play. Mississippi Valley, they leave one on, but they are able to scratch a run across. Texas Southern 5, Mississippi Valley State 1. We move now to the bottom of the third inning. Welcome back in here on the Texas Southern Sports Network, as it will be Elijah Rodriguez, Sean Williams, and Nate Lopez here for Texas Southern here in the bottom of the third inning. So Rodriguez went down looking back in the first, trying to get things started here for Texas Southern. We'll take a look at that one skip in for ball one. James Snipes coming in relief of Chris Brown, who started this for Valley. And that one spins in up there for a ball. 2-0 coming in now to Sean Williams. That one wrapped down the left field line, foul. So Elijah Rodriguez a little out in front of that one. So Elijah Rodriguez looking for one he can straighten out here. That one wrapped into left field. Going back, and it'll get over the head of Kendall Brookins. Rodriguez will go in head first. Give me some Charlie Hustle out there. So Elijah Rodriguez starts things off here for Texas Southern here in the bottom of the third with Pete Rose head first slide in the second for a double.
Next up for your Tigers, center fielder number 34, Sean Williams.
So Sean Williams now digs in here for the Texas Southern Tigers as they keep the bats hot. Sean Williams, he struck out looking back in the first. Has an RBI opportunity as that off-speed pitch is off the outside corner. Williams .44 hitter. He's a junior from Saginaw, Texas. As mentioned earlier, he went 2 for 5 yesterday. One of those 2 hits being a home run for Texas Southern. Healthy cut on that one as he fouls that one back. As he had the green light on the 3-0 pitch. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Didn't offer it that one. Count goes now to 3-1 here on Sean Williams. Elijah Rodriguez stands out there at second. And Williams is able to coax the freebie out of Snipes.
Next up for your Tigers, second baseman, number 24, Nate Lopez.
So Nate Lopez now will dig in here for Texas Southern. Lopez went down swinging back in the 2nd inning. And it looks as though Mississippi Valley will make the call to the bullpen as another pitcher will come in here for the Delta Devils. We'll take a timeout here on the Texas Southern Sports Network, and we'll come back with the new Delta Devil pitcher here on the Texas Southern Sports Network. 5-1 is your score. Logan Darnell.
Now pitching for the Delta Devils, number 35, Logan Darnell.
But it ain't. That Mississippi.
Missouri. So welcome back in here to the Texas Southern Sports Network. As the new pitcher coming in for the Delta Devils will be the sophomore, 6 foot, 215-pounder Logan Darnell. He's from Fenton, Missouri. Darnell comes into this contest. This will be his 10th appearance on the season. He is 0-3 as a starter. So Logan Darnell last saw action against Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions, where he won an inning and a third. Gave up 3 earned on 5 hits. walked one, struck out one. So now he's coming in relief of Chris Brown and James Snipes. So he'll be facing Nate Lopez. Lopez went down swinging in his prior at bat back in the second inning. So runners at first and second here for Texas Southern. Elijah Rodriguez stands out there at second. And Sean Williams at first. As they will chase Rodriguez back. So 1-1 strike coming in to Nate Lopez. And Lopez went around on that one. So 2 strikes now here on Nate Lopez. Nice off-speed pitch coming into Nate Lopez. That one is foul down the first base line. Chris Soder gets over there and makes the play near the Valley State dugout.
Next up at the top of the order for your Tigers, left fielder number
So we go back to the top of the lineup. Zach Pace
Zachary
now will dig in
Pace.
here for Texas Southern. So Pace will dig in here with the 0-1 count as he started the clock on him there. So he'll start off 0-1 here as he takes a look at that one down and in the dirt. Count, he was at 1-1. Pace in his last at bat went deep. Opposite field jack out there to the tennis courts. Interrupted a set. Has good power. Does Zach Pace. As that one is off the outside corner. Count goes to 2-1. You know, Zachary Pace. Pace doubled back in the first. As mentioned, homered in the second inning. RBI opportunity here for Pace here in the third as that one is off the outside corner. So count goes to 3-1 here on Zachary Pace. That one wrapped down the left field line, and it will roll to the fence. In comes Rodriguez. They'll hold up Sean Williams at third, but it's another double for Zachary Pace. So Zachary Pace 3 for 3 today as he's seeing the ball tremendously well. So Elijah Rodriguez comes around to score. He makes his double hold up. 6-1 is your new score. Texas Southern on top. As that one dances in the dirt for ball one. Texas Southern, 6 runs on 7 hits through the first 3 innings. Here's the pitch. That one wrapped in the right field. Early will make the catch. Tagging up is Sean Williams and tagging up is Zachary Pace. So the sacrifice fly will bring in Sean Williams. So Sean Williams comes around to score on the sac fly out to right field. So Chris Chavez picks up another RBI on the season. Jonathan Trejo now. Trying to find one to his liking. That one's hit out in the right center. Going back is Early. Going back is Hulstead. And Hulstead will make the play for the final out of the inning. But Texas Southern, they plate two more. They leave one on. 7-1 is your new score. We'll be back here on the Texas Southern Sports Network. Welcome back here to the Texas Southern Sports Network as we move now to the top of the fourth inning. Texas Southern on top, 7-1. As Tom Early here will dig in here for the Delta Devils. And that one gets in for a strike. Luciani doing a good job getting out in front of Tom Early. Early grounded out to second back in the first inning. As that one dances in the dirt. So 1-1 count coming into Tom Ford. Tom Early, I should say. So 1-2 pitch coming in here to Tom Early. Want to welcome in Jerry Ford here to the broadcast.
Hey, how are you? I'm so happy to be back on campus.
As that one is chopped back up the middle, and it will get into center field for a base hit for Early.
Next up for the Delta Devils, number 99, Chris Soder.
So Chris Soder now will dig in here for the Delta Devils. As Early represents the leadoff hitter on base here for the Delta Devils. So Chris Soder hoping it gets up and going here for the Delta Devils. Soder struck out back in the second, struck out swinging. So not much of a lead over there from Early. As that one is popped straight up, Nate Lopez will call everyone off, and he'll make the play out there at second.
Next up for Mississippi Valley State, number 25, Eric Williams.
So Eric Williams now will dig in. Williams flew out to right back in the second inning. Williams will take a look at that one for a strike. And they'll chase early back over there, as he was leaning just a tad. A little bit more for Lucioni's liking. Here's the pitch. That one slapped down the right field line. Giving chase is Chavez. Does he have enough room? Yes, he does. He'll make the play in foul territory for Texas Southern. So 2 outs here in the inning. As Steven Landez now will dig in here for the Delta Devils. And that one's hit out into left field, and it will fall in between Trejo and the left fielder out there for Texas Southern.
Now batting for the Delta Devils, number 12, Cody Leeming.
So Cody Leeming now will dig in here for the Delta Devils, as that'll be a base hit for Landez. That'll move Tom Early over to second. So runners now at first and second here for the Delta Devils. For strike. Cody Leeming looking for something he can drive here. Back in the second inning. I should say he singled back in the third inning. That one wrapped in the right field. It'll get down. Chavez can't come up with it, and Early will come around from second to score for the Delta Devils. It'll be another base hit here for Cody Leeming.
Now batting for the Delta Devils, number 2, Gabe Hulsing.
So Gabe Hulsing now will dig in here for the Delta Devils. So Landez moves up to second on the single from Cody Leeming. That curveball is just off the outside corner. So Gabe Hulsing.
Testing. Testing.
You can hear him. He just has to talk into it, talk loud. It's all good. So whenever y'all ready, chat. But just talk into the mic
So Coach Gallego going out there to go check on his hurler in the form of Jose Lucioni, as the training staff will come out. Coach Gallego saw something he didn't like there, so it'll be interesting to see what they do here with Lucioni, as Mississippi Valley has played it one here in the inning. So Texas Southern bullpen, they are stirring down there. It looks as though Lucioni could be cramping out there, as we take a look at some scores from around the Southwestern Athletic Conference today. A lot of teams playing game 2 today. Bethune-Cookman all over Alcorn, 10-1. Arkansas Pine Bluff, that game is in the top of the 8th between Bethune-Cookman and Alcorn. Arkansas Pine Bluff on top of Florida A&M 5-2. Grambling and Alabama A&M, they've started. Grambling on top of the Bulldogs 2-1 thus far. Jackson State on top of Prairie View 1-0. That game is in the bottom of the second. While we have this timeout here in the action, I want to welcome Jerry Ford, part of the 2015 Texas Southern Championship team, and welcome in.
Well, thank you for having me. I mean, I'm so excited to be back. This is a great day for Tiger baseball. I mean, the wind is blowing out. That's always going to be a great day for the hitters, and we have a good lead right now.
Let me ask you, though, in terms of pitching in this ballpark, McGregor Park, we talk about the McGregor Park winds. in terms of how do you pitch in this ballpark?
I mean, like, look, you got to move the ball around, right? I mean, the difference, especially on a Division One level, you're going to have pitchers. You know, if you make it to this level, you have a pretty good fastball. But the difference is going to be if you're going to move your breaker, right? You have a plus breaker. You can move it in and out, up and down, and control that. And on days like this, you know, as a pitcher, right, you really have to be very careful because any little mistake at McGregor could end up being, you know, over towards the University of Houston.
As Gabe Hulson will take a look at that one for strike one. And you mentioned it, you really have to move the ball around this ballpark because the winds, they will play havoc with it.
Yeah, you know, and another issue is you can't get too comfortable with a big lead, right? I mean, you can have an 8-1 lead, and because how this ballpark plays, you know, if you're not careful, you know, the team can come back really quickly.
No doubt. Well, you're part of a championship team with Coach Rob. You know, talk to us about that experience.
Oh my goodness! Look, Coach Rob, what a presence this man was. You know, really great baseball coach. You know, in my eyes, played for him for 4 years. Have nothing but great things to say about him. I mean,
that one's popped up out there. Going back is Trejo. Trejo will make the final out of the inning. But Jerry, stick around, man. Let's come back next inning. Let's talk a little bit more baseball.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. 7-2 is your score as Mississippi Valley is able to push a run across. 7-2. We'll be back here on the Texas Southern Sports Network.
I'm glad it's got this tent here. You know, right? Yeah. How long have you been doing play-by-play?
I've been going Texas Southern 2 years, but I've been probably doing play-by-play for about 10 years.
Okay. Who's the basketball guy? Famous guy. I mean, he's been for a long time. Chatterbox. Yeah.
Chatterbox was, I think every did baseball. He did baseball?
No, well, he did basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah. When I was a student, I was I guess like interning at KTSU. So I ran across him a few times. You know, really good, great guy. Yeah.
And welcome back here to the Texas Southern Sports Network. 7-2 is your score as we move here to the bottom of the fourth inning. Leading off for Texas Southern will be Byron Robinson. It'll be Robinson, Jubert, and Miguel Morales. And of course, we're joined here in the booth with Jerry Ford, part of the 2015 Texas Southern Championship team. He was an all-conference player. And you were telling us about your experience in terms of playing for this baseball team.
Yeah, you know, like one of the reasons that I came to Texas Southern is, you know, Michael Robinson, who's the former coach, you know, he came from a culture of, you know, fast baseball, like stealing bases and putting pressure on the team. And I was a stolen base guy. So, you know, he really kind of let me and some other guys kind of run loose. And I think, you know, the great thing about Coach Rob, and I think a lot of baseball coaches, you know, should, you know, do something similar as this, is like anytime I, you know, got thrown out trying to steal a base, which, you know, wasn't that many times, but when it happened, if I got animated, Coach Rob will be out there in the umpire's face, right? And I noticed that first couple times, but then it was one time where I was out, right? But I was still, you know, showing, and he still got out there and got into umpire's face. And the thing about that is, like, you have a coach that you know has your back, right? It's just little things like that. Like, you can go to the X's and O's and you know, about the theory of hitting and pitching, but to have a coach that you know has your back, it makes players just play much better.
And I think that's kind of a unique aspect, especially within this conference, is base runners are going to put pressure on defenses, right?
Yeah, and you have to in the SWAC. I mean, this is the SWAC, right? You gotta, you gotta run, you gotta lay down drag bunt, you gotta put pressure on that defense. You gotta make something happen.
As Byron Robinson turns on that one, and that will go deep down the right field line, foul. But to your point, you were talking about just the style of baseball, especially in the SWAC. Base runners put pressure on defenses all the time. Like you said, you guys lay down bunts. There's stolen bases. It's an exciting brand of baseball.
It's an exciting brand of baseball, and you really have to be mentally tough in this conference, right? Because we're talking about the Texas Southern way of style of play. I mean, this is Grambling has their own unique style of play. Southern had their own unique style of play, and you have to come with it every single weekend.
As Robinson out in front of that one a little bit. Dangerous Byron Robinson. He's already gone deep in this one. And when you kind of take a look at this conference, we've kind of seen kind of the balance of power shift to Florida, Bethune-Cookman, and Florida A&M. They've won SWAC championships now. But what do you think, kind of needs to be done with regards to getting some of that power shift, if you will, out of the two new teams that have come into the SWAC?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be pitching, right? It's going to be pitching, right? If you can have a team that has solid pitching on Friday and Saturday, and then you have some guys in the back end, that bullpen, I think that is going to be what separates some of these teams from the others. But, there has been a dramatic shift of power, especially with the new teams that have come into the conference. But, right now it looks like this is anybody's ball game, really, right? It's going to be who gets hot at the right time and who wins that SWAC tournament and get them an automatic bid into the NCAA tournament.
Well, let me ask this question. Are you staying around the game, or what is it you're doing now?
Yeah, so I'm an attorney in New York City. I've been a business lawyer. At this current time, I'm currently finishing up my MBA at Columbia University, which is a good transition of business lawyer and getting a business degree. But I plan to be around the sport some more. I'm still coach on the weekends, like youth sports. My younger brother is now the pitching coach here at Texas Southern.
Okay.
So I'm down here this weekend to check the team out, and the team looks pretty good so far.
Yes, it does. As they won game one yesterday, as Robinson files that one back. And I'm just curious in terms of saying your younger brother is on the staff here with Texas Southern, but are there any trends that you see, especially with African Americans in the game of baseball nowadays?
Yeah, I mean, that is one of the things that I think like Texas Southern has kind of been at the forefront of we're in the city of Houston, and there's a lot of good baseball talent in Houston, but there's a lot of great black baseball talent in Houston as well. And a strong SWAC conference is going to produce a good pipeline of black talent.
No doubt about it. And Byron Robinson, as he continues his torrid hitting, as he doubles, as he hit that one down the left field line. And I tell you what, they cannot get Byron Robinson out in this contest. He went deep twice yesterday for Texas Southern, went deep today. Here's another double. And now you got Evan Jubert now digging in here for this Texas Southern potent offense. Talk about Texas Southern. They've gotten off to a tremendous start here in SWAC play as Jubert pops that one straight up. Shortstop Lemming will camp under it and make the play for the Delta Devils. But Texas Southern, they started off 3-1 thus far in SWAC play. But like you said, every series now, every game you have in this conference, it is a test of wills, if you will.
It is, and you can't take a weekend off. You can't take a pitch off. You can't take a bat off. Even if you start off high, right? You can't get too confident. And that's one of the things that you kind of learn from Coach Rob when when I was here is like.
That one cued. Lemming will have his play at third, and they'll make the play as they'll cut down Byron Robinson at third. Score that one 5-6. 6-5, I should say, if you're scoring at home. Lemming to the shortstop.
Yeah, but, what I was saying is one of the lessons that you learn here is you got to stay even kill, right? You go on a 5 game winning streak. You can't get too confident, get too arrogant, right? And if you go through a rough patch, you also can't get too low. You got to stay even keel. It's a long season, it's a marathon, and whoever can be the most consistent is going to be successful at the end of the season.
As Rodriguez will fly out and making the play out there in short right field is Tanner Aoki. Hey, can you stick around for another inning?
Yeah, that's fine.
Absolutely. We move now to the top of the fifth inning. 7-2 is your score. Texas Southern on top of Mississippi Valley. We'll be back here on the Texas Southern Sports Network.
Carry over for another inning. Might as well.
No, this is fine.
Because I do want to ask, in terms of your playing ball in college, how that prepped you for law school and things of that nature.
I got you a hat. Don't worry about it. I just the one that one was the other was too small. Those was actually mine, so he got to give me smaller ones for my. But he got some for y'all. I told him to bring some today because I was like, you know what, I need some for my people. Been rough, but we rocking now. The broadcast is good. Everything is rocking. Next time we're gonna have some headphones.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Welcome back here on the Texas Southern Sports Network as we get ready to start the top of the fifth inning. Texas Southern on top 7-2. Of course, we're joined here by Jerry Ford, part of the 2015 Texas Southern Championship team. And I'll tell you what, getting tremendous insight from you, Jerry, in terms of your experience here at Texas Southern. But I'm curious, you talked about being an attorney now in New York, but just your experience in terms of playing team sports, in terms of how did that kind of prep you for life after baseball, if you would?
Yeah, I think the structure at Texas Southern in particular, it prepares you and trains you to be a good baseball player, but more importantly, it trains you to be a good citizen, a good person, a person who can go through adversity in life, who could take some of the lessons and the skills that are kind of ingrained within you here and take into other industries. So, I ended up going to law school, and I, will wake up and study and make sure I'm on time. And even when I am tired, you still go for it. I have Coach Rob's voice in my ear.
I can imagine, yeah.
If you're on time, you're late, right? Some of those things, especially around discipline and work ethic. Because as a student athlete here at Texas Southern, I don't know a lot of people really understand the intensity of what it is to be a student athlete, right? I mean, there's many times you're up at 6 o'clock in the morning, running a 6:40, on the track, and then you got to go to class, and then you have practice, and all those things. You have to be very organized, you have to be very disciplined, very consistent. And you have to have this mindset of no excuses, right? And if you take that out of Texas Southern, you take that into, whatever industry that you go into, if it's law, if it's medicine, all those skills are just life skills that you can take with you forever.
No doubt about it. As Brookins takes a look at that one in for a strike count, he was at 1-1. Tony Aoki was able to coax a walk as he stands down there at first. Nice lead down there for Aoki as that one is chopped. Lopez in the hole. Can he make the play? Yes, he does. As Morales does a great job getting back to the bag. But Aoki will move to second on the fielder's choice there. Nate Lopez doing a good job going in the hole, making the play. So what has it been like being big brother looking at little brother with this pitching staff here with Texas Southern?
I like to say, like, my brother was drafted by the New York Mets. He had a really good college career, played for San Jack, and I always say that everything that he knows, I taught him. So this pitching staff is looking really good right now. I know my brother, his philosophy. He is one of the most brilliant baseball minds that I know. Right, we talk about hitting and pitching for hours, and I know he's going to have this team, really looking good around the SWAC tournament. But it is kind of surreal.
It does bring kind of an interesting question in terms of playing here at Reclam Field here at McGregor Park. Does this ballpark sort of prep you for the tournament in terms of understanding how to move the ball around? You talk about moving the ball around the plate, working both sides of the plate, but just pitching versus throwing.
Yeah, so the difference here is you have to be very precise, right? Your margin of error here is very low, especially on days like today when the wind is blowing out, right? So when you are in that type of environment with your home games, when you're playing, some of these schools with ballparks that play a little more friendly to pitchers, it just makes you a lot better, right? So we played a lot of non-conference games, and usually we have like a large ballpark. We play really, really well. And I think McGregor Park really prepared, not just the hitters, but the pitchers for those challenges.
In between hop over there for Evan Jubert. That'll be a tough play. And Jackson Haynes will leg that one out. That was going to be a tough bang-bang play for Evan Jubert. I think we'll give him a base hit on that one. And it'll be runners here on first and second here for the Delta Devils as Tom Early will step in to bat here for the Delta Devils. So the Russian judges will call that one an error on the third baseman down there in Evan Jubert.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that was a pretty tough hop right there.
Tough hop. Vladimir here says that was an error. So
we call that a McGregor Park base hit.
I was about to say that's McGregor Park base hit. So Luciotti starts things off here on Early with a strike. Early today got a base hit in his last at bat. Came around to score for the Delta Devils. So runners on first and second here for Mississippi Valley here in the top of the fifth inning. Of course, joined here by Jerry Ford, Texas Southern baseball guy. Remember the 2015 championship, Texas Southern championship team under Coach Robb. Coach Mike Robb, you talk about one of the great coaches in this conference, multiple times a SWAC championship winner. But just you talked about the things that he instilled in you, and I tell you what, he is a tremendous presence around this Texas Southern baseball team.
Yeah, and even you think about the presence or the influence that Mike Robb has had on black baseball players within the Houston area. Me and my brother grew up working out with Michael Bourne and Carl Crawford, and Michael Bourne used to be coached by Coach Robb. Back in the day, Rob was a coach at Forestbrook.
6 and 3. 4-6-3 double play. Lopez to Trejo to Morales, and the Tigers get out of the inning. I want to follow up on that thought. We'll move to the bottom of the inning. Texas Southern on top of Mississippi Valley, 7-2.
7-2 Tigers.
I'm just holding you on for
Yeah.
I'll cut you loose after this.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. What? Which class are you? Senior? Okay. Yeah. You guys look good this year. I mean, this could be a good season to add another. Yeah. How's Aaron? Like, what does the team think of?
We like him.
You like him?
He seems a chill guy. He's not the guy we had last year. They're both very good baseball minds, but Human, the guy we had last year, was very like pours a lot more into it. I think that
Yeah.
works better with the demographic of 18 under 22.
Leading off at the bottom of the fifth for your Tigers, center fielder number 34, Sean Williams.
And welcome back here to Reckling Field here in McGregor Park as we move to the bottom of the fifth inning. Texas Southern on top, 7-2 over the Mississippi Valley State Delta Devils. It will be Sean Williams, Nate Lopez, and back to the top of the lineup is Zach Pace here for Texas Southern here in the bottom of the fifth here. We continue to be joined here by Jerry Ford, TSU alum, member of the Texas Southern 2015 championship team. And, you know, prior inning we were talking about Coach Mike Robinson and his presence here with this Texas Southern baseball team and a lot of things that he instilled in you guys. I think one of the things I was laughing about is the punctuality with baseball players in general.
Yeah, exactly. You know, make sure you're on time. Just so many different life lessons that you learn. You just take with you when you leave Texas Southern.
As Nate Lopez now will dig in here for TSU. Want to say hello to Miss Jacquelinetta Armstead. She's out there at softball this weekend. Softball team did their job. Now it's up to the baseball team to continue the fun times here in this Texas Southern baseball softball weekend. Want to say hello to the Delta Devil fans who are checking in with us here on the Texas Southern Sports Network. We welcome you guys into this broadcast. You know, Jared, when we take a look, and we were talking a little bit about African Americans in baseball, you know, there isn't a dearth that have made it to the major leagues, but just from, you talked about coaching it at the youth level, but what do you think sort of needs to be done to sort of foster this great sport and help it grow?
Yeah, so, you know, I think, you know, we used to play our home games, some home games in 2015 at Urban Youth Academy in Acres Homes on the north side of Houston. And I think there's just so many different programs that are now kind of geared towards giving, you know, opportunities to, you know, people in our community. The thing is about baseball is very unique. If you're not playing baseball by like 10 years old, right, if you're not already within that travel ball system, playing year-round and private coaching, you're really going to be really far behind. And, you know, having programs that kind of
And Lopez, he wraps that one down the left field line. That'll roll to the fence. It'll be a stand-up double here for Nate Lopez here in the fifth inning.
Yeah, so having more programs that's kind of geared towards that age group, right? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and providing resources, providing training, batting cages, and opportunities to play year-round. That is what that's where the investment has to be, and then hopefully they become SWAC baseball players, and then you can, you know, take it from there. This is a great platform for players who want to go to the next level. But I think you're really seeing it. I think especially here in Houston, you have a very large black baseball community, and you know, people are really invested in helping each other and wanting to see people succeed.
No doubt about it. You mentioned playing, and I'm curious, you know, in terms of some of the players that you saw around this conference during the time that you were there at Texas Southern.
Oh yeah, we had some, you know, some really good players. You know, some guys went to play pro ball for a couple years, and you know, I think most people had like a very similar style of play. Focus on speed, focus on, you know, making something happen. You had some guys who had some really big arms, right? You had guys throwing mid-90s with 2++ breakers. So like the talent in the SWAC is on par with most, you know, mid-major, major Division I programs. So you have to come and bring it every single day because, you know, these are some of the top players like in the entire nation.
Mm-hmm. Zach Pace takes a look at that one in for a strike. Who are your rivals then? I know Prairie View is a natural rival, but this place normally fills up when the Southern Jaguars come into town.
Yeah, and like Southern or Grambling,
Mhm.
right? And the thing is, what's interesting about those two programs is when you look down their roster in the last decade, most of those players were from Houston,
Oh,
right?
wow.
And I would say Texas Southern has this unique advantage inherently with recruiting because Houston is the hotbed for talent,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So all the surrounding programs, they are trying to recruit in Houston, and Texas Southern is like, well, we're right here in the middle of Houston, so TSU is usually able to get some of the best talent, but you can have the big crowds with Grambling and Southern because most of those people are from Houston.
So Pace dinks that one into right field, and Lopez will come around to score. So Zach Pace with another RBI here for Texas Southern as he doubles down in the right field. And the new score is 8-2, Texas Southern on top of Mississippi Valley State. So now Christopher Chavez now will dig in here for the Texas Southern Tigers.
Yeah, we were talking about the
Nice play made down there by Chris Soder as Chavez lines that one right over there to Soder. They'll say Soder actually made the catch, and they'll double up Zach Pace.
the ground.
So Coach Eli Gallego, I should say, will inquire about this one here. So the call on the field is the ball was caught by Soder, and they doubled up Zachary Pace on that. So that is how the inning will end, as Texas Southern is able to scratch out one here in this inning. We move now to the sixth. Well, let's stay here. They'll talk through this. So let's stay with it. I thought it was a short hop down.
Yeah,
there.
it definitely hit the ground. I think they're going to overturn this.
It looked from this vantage point as though the ball might have hit the ground first. So they're going to talk about this, and they're going to stick with the call.
Yeah, both the umpires, they weren't paying attention. That definitely hit the ground.
8-2.
So now we do move to the sixth inning. Your score, 8-2. And Jerry, man, I tell you what, it was fun sitting here talking with you multiple innings. I probably held you for a little bit longer than I should have.
No, it was fun. It was great. It was great. I enjoyed being back, and I hoping that we can continue this little streak that we got going on, and we can celebrate a SWAC championship at the end of the year.
There you go. Jerry Ford here on the Texas Southern Sports Network. We'll be back. 8-2 is your score as we move to the sixth.
All right, thanks, man. That's great.
New pitcher. New pitcher. 8. So welcome back in here to the Texas Southern Sports Network. As the new pitcher on the mound for Texas Southern will be Landon Grant. Landon Grant. He is a redshirt sophomore, 6'3" lefty, 200-pounder from Longview, Texas. East Texas kid. So Landon Grant comes in. This will be his 5th appearance on the season. He's 1-2 on the season, 8.64 ERA. He's walked 6, struck out 6. As that one is long gone. As Chris Soder got all of that one. So that is a home run for Chris Soder. Oh my goodness, that one is still traveling. So Chris Soder found one to his liking, and he deposited that one deep in McGregor Park. So your new score, 8-3, Texas Southern on top of the Delta Devils. So now Eric Williams now will dig in here for the Delta Devils as that one comes in for a strike. That one's a little low. Landon Grant, he last saw action against Jackson State on last weekend. He pitched 2 innings, gave up a hit, struck out 2 in his last outing. So count is 2-2 here to Eric Williams. Williams, he's flied out to right twice today. 0 for 2. So here's the pitch coming in from Grant, and that one is skied straight up. Coming in is Morales. Going out is Rodriguez, and it'll fall. It fell in between the catcher and first baseman. As that was a tough play.
Now batting for Mississippi Valley State, number 5, Steven Landez.
If you had it hitting the glove, that's an error, but I didn't have it hitting the glove. Yeah, he didn't touch it, right?
So they will rule that a base hit here for Eric Williams, as he will get the CNI single on that one, as that fell in between Rodriguez and Morales. And again, that's a tough play for the catcher to go out and make with the wind swirling. Got the catcher going out and the first baseman coming in. And it found a happy spot in between both of them. So now Steven Landez now will dig in here for the Delta Devils. Landez today, 1 for 2. Flied out to center back in the 2nd. Singled back in the 4th inning. As Landez hits that one. 5, 4, and 3 as the Texas Southern Tigers will whip it around the horn for the double play.
Double play, Tiger!
Schubert to Lopez to Morales. And take that chess piece off the board for the Delta Devils.
Now batting for the Delta Devils, number 12, Cody Leeming.
As Steven Landez chops into the 5-4-3 double play. So now Cody Leeming will dig in here for the Delta Devils. Leeming, 2 for 2 today. As he hits that one past Jubert down the left field line. Going out there sliding, trying to keep it from getting to the wall is Zach Pace, but Leeming stays hot. He's 3 for 3 now. As he doubles, goes in sliding for the Delta Devils. Cody Lemmy
Now batting for Mississippi Valley State, number 2.
continuing to get the job done here for the Delta Devils at the plate. 3 for 3 today. Has 2 singles and now a double. So that one is hit out the right field. Chavez will shade his eyes, camp under it, and make the play for the final out. But the Delta Devils, they are able to plate one an inning on the home run from Chris Soder. We move now to the bottom of the 6th. Texas Southern 8, Mississippi Valley State 3. Bottom of the 6th. And welcome back here to Reckling Field here at McGregor Park as we get ready to start the bottom of the 6th inning. It will be Trejo, Robinson, and Schubert. So Jonathan Trejo trying to start things off here for Texas Southern here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Trejo 0 for 2 today. As he'll take a look at that one in for a ball. So here's the pitch. That one low and away. Trejo was hit by a pitch back in the first. Flew out to right in the second. Flew out to center in the third. Of course, yesterday had a huge day. Had a huge day at the plate for Texas Southern, going 4 for 5. Had a home run on yesterday. Trying to get things up and going today. And Trejo was able to coax the walk from the Valley pitcher. So the very dangerous Byron Robinson now will dig in here for Texas Southern. Robinson today, 3 RBIs, homered back in the first. As that one skips to the backstop, and Trejo will go in unbothered down there at second. So now Texas Southern with a runner in scoring position. Robinson walked back in the second inning, doubled in the fourth. A 2 for 2 day for Byron Robinson. That one in on the hands, but they'll say it was indeed a strike. So Jonathan Trejo, good wheels. Any base hit to the outfield, he'll be able to score on it. As Logan Darnell Working here to Byron Robinson. And they'll chase Trejo back. He'll take that one off the hamstring. As Tanner Aoki alertly able to get the ricochet. Two balls and one strike coming into Robinson. Robinson whips that one out in the right field. They will wind Trejo up, and Trejo will score for Texas Southern. Another RBI for Byron Robinson.
Come in with the score on Byron Robinson. Now batting for Texas Southern, third baseman number 9, Evan Schubert.
So Evan Schubert now will come up here for Texas Southern. Schubert pops that one up down the left field line. They'll give chase. And that one will drop foul in between the shortstop, third baseman, and left fielder. But that will go foul. So Byron Robinson continues his hot hitting. 3 for 3 today for Texas Southern. As Jonathan Trejo came around to score. 9-3 now is your score. Texas Southern on top of the Delta Devils. That pitch is off the outside part of the plate for a ball. That one hit down the left field line. That'll drop fair. Here comes Robinson around second. They'll hold him up at third as they get it in. So now runners on second and third here for Texas Southern. And Evan Schubert gets the job done for Texas Southern with a double.
Next up for Texas Southern, first baseman number 29.
So Miguel Morales will dig in here for Texas Southern Tigers. Morales 1 for 3 today. He's upped his average to 489, a SWAC leading 489. Singled back in the first, flew out to center. Back in the second, in the fourth inning, hit into a fielder's choice as shortstop for Mississippi Valley, Cody Lemming, alertly threw to third and got the runner out at third. So now the Valley defense will play in as Morales pulls that one foul. So count goes to 1-1 here on Miguel Morales. Defense plays in for the Delta Devils. That one catches the corner. Count goes to 1-2 now on Miguel Morales. Morales coming into this game one of the top hitters in the nation. So runners at second and third. Valley trying to keep any more runs off the board here. As of course, talking with Jerry Ford, playing in this ballpark, you got to keep scoring. Winds play havoc. Winds will start helping balls fly over the fence. So Texas Southern offense having to continue to put pressure on these Delta Devil arms. As that one is hit foul down the first base line. So 1 ball and 2 strikes coming in here to Miguel Morales. Here's a pitch. That one is chop foul. off the outside corner. Count evens at 2-2. Still no outs here in this inning. Miguel Morales from Arroyo, Puerto Rico. That one hit out into left field. Is it deep enough for Robinson to tag? He will tag. Here comes the throw, and they'll keep Robinson at third. So one out here in the inning as Morales flies out to left field.
Now batting, catcher number 16, Elijah Rodriguez.
So Elijah Rodriguez now will dig in here for the Tigers. Rodriguez 1 for 3 today. He doubled back in the third inning for Texas Southern. Came around to score. Flew out to second in his last at bat. So the Delta Devil defense will continue to play in as that one is wrapped out into center field. Going back is Hillstead. Hillstead will make the play, and that will be deep enough to bring in Byron Robinson as both runners will tag up. So Evan Jubert will move up to third and give Elijah Rodriguez an RBI on that one.
Now batting, center fielder number 34, Sean Williams.
So Sean Williams now coming up to bat here for Texas Southern. Williams 0 for 2 today. Looking to bring in another run. 10-3 is your score. As the Texas Southern offense has continued to humble this Mississippi Valley State pitching staff as Williams gets the head of the bat out in front of that one. Slaps it foul down the left field line. Here's the pitch. That one is fouled off. So Sean Williams, now count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Sean Williams. Here's a pitch. Curveball, and Williams swings and misses that one. He'll go down swinging. But Texas Southern able to plate another couple runs in that inning as Trejo and Byron Robinson come around to score. We move to the 7th.
In favor of you.
Texas Southern 10, Mississippi Valley State 3. We'll be back here on the Texas Southern Sports Network. April when?
April 11th.
And welcome back here to Franklin Field here at McGregor Park. Texas Southern on top, 10-3 in this one. As we take a look at some scores from around the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Final from Lorman, Bethune-Cookman knocked off the Braves today 12-2. Florida A&M on top of Arkansas Pine Bluff, 7-5. That game is in the top of the 8th inning. Grambling on top of Alabama A&M, 7-1. That game is in the top of the 4th inning. Jackson State on top of Prairie View, 3-2. That game is in the bottom of the 5th. And the nightcap tonight is the Southern Jaguars and Alabama State Hornets for game 2 over there in Montgomery, as the Jags were up big, won big yesterday in game 1 over Alabama State. So that one is chopped. As a switch hitting, Aoki will get that one in between the third baseman and the shortstop. Tough hop over there for Evan Jew, but it'll be a base hit for Tony Aoki. Base hit.
Now batting for Mississippi Valley State. Number 43, left fielder Kendall Brookins.
So whenever he's moving to a ball, trying to get to a ball, and it's a tough hop, it's not really changing. So it becomes a base hit. So Kendall Brookins now digs in here for the Delta Devils as Aoki gets on here for the Delta Devils. Brookins swing and fouls that one off. So count moves to 1-1 here on Kendall Brookins. Brookins 1 for 3 today. That one is up and in.
Next up at bat, number 20, Jackson Haynes.
So Kendall Brookins lines that one into right field. So now the Delta Devils with a little something going here as they get the first 2 runners on, or first 2 batters on, I should say, here in this inning. So Aoki stands out there at second, Brookins at first. No outs here in this inning. So Jackson Haynes at the plate. 2 balls, no strikes coming in here to Haynes. Haynes takes a look at that one in for a strike. Haynes 0 for 3 today. Struck out looking in the first, flew out to center in the third. Flew out in the fifth. So runner in scoring position is Haynes. Big cut on that one. And that will get past Jackson Haynes. So count goes to 3-2 here on Jackson Haynes. And Haynes goes down looking. So Landon Grant able to get the strikeout there on Jackson Haynes. So 1 out here in the inning. So Tom Early. Dig in here for the Delta Devils. He'll take a look at that bender. That one gets in for a strike. Tom Early, 1 for 3 today. Singled back in the 4th inning. 5th inning, hit into a 4-6-3 double play. That one is chopped off his leg there. That'll go foul. Here's a pitch from Landon Grant. That one slides off the outside part of the plate. So count goes to 1-2 here on Tom Early. Landon Grant out there in relief of Jose Lucioni. Valley has used 3 pitchers today. Started out with Chris Brown, James Snipes, Logan Darnell now on the hill for the Delta Devils as that one is slapped in the right field. Chavez will come in and make the play. And did they double up Brookins? No, Brookins was able to get in. I think that ball kind of fooled Brookins on that one. Because he was taking off down there to second and had to hustle back into first, but he was able to get back in there. So Chris Soder now will dig in here for the Delta Devils. Soder hit a no-doubter. His last at bat up there for Mississippi Valley. Soder takes a look at that one off the outside part of the plate. As mentioned, Chris Soder 1 for 3 today. Struck out in the second, flew out to second in the fourth, and then went deep in the 5th inning. As that was a big, healthy cut, but that one will get in under the bat of Chris Soder. So 2 balls, 1 strike coming into the big Delta Devil. Chris Soder, 6'3", 215-pounder from Sarasota, Florida. Another big cut, and that one gets in under his bat. So count evens at 2-2 here on Chris Soder. That one dances in the dirt for a ball. Count runs full here on Christopher Soder. Aoki stands on second. Brookins on first. And that one is up and away. So now the sacks will be full of Delta Devils as Eric Williams will dig in here for Mississippi Valley. So Eric Williams, 1 for 3 thus far today. That one is a ball. Williams singled in his last at bat. Flew out to right back in the 2nd and 4th innings. That one hit out in the center field. Going back is Williams. And Williams will make the final out of the inning as that one was skied right to where he was playing. So we move to the bottom of the 7th. 10-3 is your score. Texas Southern on top of Mississippi Valley. We'll be back here on the Texas Southern Sports Network.
Heading into the bottom of the 7th, your Texas Southern Tigers are still on top.
You have to be up
10-3.
10 runs.
Well, 7. I'm saying if they get 3 right here.
Okay, good.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
I think we can do it. We're gonna hit the top.
And welcome back here to the Texas Southern Sports Network as the new pitcher for Mississippi Valley will be Daniel Scott. Daniel Scott will check in here, pitching here for the Delta Devils. Scott, 6.75 ERA, is 1-0 on the season. This will be his 5th appearance. He's given up 1 earned on the season, walked 3, struck out 1. Young man, freshman from Newport Richey, Florida. Of course, he saw action yesterday against Texas Southern, where he pitched a third of an inning. So it'll be Lopez starting things off here for Texas Southern here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So 0-2 coming into Nate Lopez. Nate Lopez trying to get things up and going here for Texas Southern. Here's the pitch. That one chopped out to the shortstop. He'll throw it across for the 6-3 putout. Nice play out there by Cody Lemming.
Now batting for your Tigers.
So Zach Pace now will dig in here for the Tigers. Zach Pace, a gaudy day at the plate here for Texas Southern. 4 for 4 today as he doubled back in the first. Fouls that one off there. Homered back in the 2nd inning. Doubled again in the 3rd. And doubled in the 5th. Racking up the doubles today. That one is low and inside, so count moves to 2-1 here on Pace. That one is fouled back into the mitt. So now 2 strikes here on Zach Pace. 2-2 is your count here on Zach Pace. That one dances in the dirt. Count runs full. Here on Pace. That would head out to Tanner Aoki. Aoki will hoover that one up and make the throw over the first for the 2nd out of the inning.
At bat for Texas Southern, your right fielder, number 15, Christopher Chavez.
So Christopher Chavez now will dig in. Chavez 0 for 2 today. And I'm sure the Delta Devil defense happy to see Zach Pace off the base pass. They finally got him out on that 4-3 putout. So Chavez will have to do it with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the pitch. That one is fouled off as the wind is really whipping out there in left center field. We talk about the winds that play havoc here in this ballpark, and pretty hard crosswind. Blowing hard from right field to left field. Here at the old ballpark, that one was chopped out to Lemming. Lemming from the hole will make the play at first. So 3 up, 3 downs, no runs, no hits, no errors. We move to the 8th. Texas Southern 10, Mississippi Valley 3. We'll be back here on the Texas Southern Sports Network. Welcome back here to the Texas Southern Sports Network as we start the top of the 8th inning. Texas Southern on top, 10-3. It'll be Landez, Lemming, and Hulsing for the Delta Devils. As Grant is working his 3rd inning here. Landon Grant here for Texas Southern. Landez today, 1 for 3 as he'll hit that one out in the left field. And camping out and making that play is Zachary Pace out in left field for the first out of the inning.
Next up for Mississippi Valley State, number 12, Cody Leeming.
So I want to give a shout out to the Texas Southern softball team as they get the doubleheader sweep today. As that one is wrapped down the left field line. And Cody Lemming, he continues his hot hitting as he'll go in with a stand-up double.
Now batting number 2, Gabe Hulsing.
So Cody Lemming, he's seeing the ball like a beach ball up there right now as he goes in for another double. That's his 2nd double today. He's 3 for 3 for the Delta Devils. So Lemming has raised his average through the course of the day. I should say he's 4 for 4 today. 2 singles and 2 doubles. So Lemming now able to move across on the wild pitch as he stands on 3rd base here for the Delta Devils. Gabe Hulsing will try to pick up an RBI. He'll take a look at that one off the outside part of the plate. Here's the pitch. That one low. 3-0 pitch coming into Hulsing. And it's a 4-pitch walk. As Landon Grant walks Hulsing over there to first. So now Delta Devils have runners on the corners.
Bluetooth disconnected. Bluetooth pairing.
We go back to the top of the lineup. As Tanner Aoki will now come to bat for the Delta Devils.
Bluetooth connected.
Now Texas Southern's pitching coach come out there. Kind of talk to his left-hand hurler. Take a look around. Some scores here in the SWAC. Prairie View now on top of Jackson State 5-3. That game is in the bottom of the 6th inning. Florida A&M on top of UAPB 7-5. Grambling, top of the 4th inning, they're on top of Alabama A&M 7-2. Of course, the final earlier today, Bethune-Cookman knocked off Alcorn 12-2. So now the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats, they continue their undefeated ways in the SWAC. They moved to 5-0 in the SWAC as they've taken the first 2 games of that series against Alcorn. So Tanner Aoki.
Bluetooth connected.
Trying to get something going here for the Delta Devils. 1 for 2 today. That one's a ball. Aoki singled in his last at bat. Made it around the 3rd where he was stranded over there. As Grant will chase back the runner at first in the form of Hulston. And that off-speed pitch gets in there for a strike. Nice pitch that time from Landon Grant. No outs. Runners on the corners. I should say one out here in the inning. Here's the pitch. That one off outside corner. 3-2 pitch coming in here to Tanner Aoki. Here's the pitch. Aoki tough with two, fouls that one back. Two pitch coming in. Swing and a miss. And Grant gets the strikeout on Tanner Aoki.
Strikeout, Landon Grant.
So Kendall Brookins now will dig in here for the Delta Devils. So Brookins, 2 for 4 today, as that one is flied out directly behind us here. So that will be fouled off. Brookins has a triple today. He tripled back in the 3rd inning. Singled in the 7th. He's had a good series, this Kendall Brookins. He's a pretty good baseball player. That one is slap foul. Young man from Chicago. A lot of great baseball players come out of that Chicago area. Of course, yesterday he went 4 for 6 at the plate as he wraps that one down the right field line, right past a dive in Miguel Morales. And Brookins will go in head first into second. He'll have a double, and that will bring in a run as Cody Lemming comes around to score. So Jackson Haynes now digs in as Gabe Hulsey will be standing over there on third. So Kendall Brookins continues with his torrid hitting here for the Delta Devils. So Jackson Haynes, golden opportunity. Runners in scoring position at second and third. 10-4 is your new score. Texas Southern on top of the Delta Devils. And Haynes fouls that one back. Saw a fastball to his liking, but couldn't catch up to it. That one skips in the dirt.
Ball. It was in the dirt.
So 2 balls and 1 strike coming in here to Jackson Haynes. Here's a pitch. That one skied straight up. Going out is Trejo. Coming in is Williams. And calling everybody off is Zachary Pace. And Zachary Pace will make the out from his left field position.
Heading to the bottom of the 8th, scores.
So Delta Devils
Texas Southern
are able to pick up a run on the Kendall Brookins double. We move now to the bottom of the 8th inning. Texas Southern 10, Mississippi Valley State 4. We'll be back here on the Texas Southern Sports Network. And welcome back in here to the Texas Southern Sports Network. As a new pitcher in for the Delta Devils, it will be Gage Deutsch. So Deutsch is a 6'1", 190-pound freshman from Dale, Texas. Getting an opportunity to come back to the great state of Texas. Young man from Lockhart High. Deutsch will be facing Jonathan Trejo here in the bottom of the 8th inning. So Deutsch last saw action against Arkansas Pine Bluff, where he pitched 2/3 of an inning, gave up a hit in that game. So Trejo will wrap that out to Lemming. Lemming fires it across the shoulder for the 6-3 putout.
Now batting for your Tigers, DH number 35, Byron Robinson.
So Byron Robinson now will dig in here for Texas Southern. Gaudy day at the plate for Byron Robinson, 3 for 3 today. He had a healthy cut on that first one. Here's the pitch. Robinson wraps that one out in the left field. Going back. Did it get over? It did get over the fence. Byron Robinson with an opposite field home run here for Texas Southern. As Kendall Brookins gave it chase, but Robinson goes deep again for Texas Southern, his 4th home run in this series.
Next up for your Tigers, third baseman number 9, Evan Jewell.
Boy, I tell you, Byron Robinson 4 for 4. 5 RBIs today. Adding another home run here in this contest. That one is off the outside corner to Evan Jubert. So Robinson with 2 yesterday, 2 today. That one is up and away. 11-4 is your score. Texas Southern on top of the Delta Devils. And Jubert fouls that one off. Byron Robinson, tell you what, 5 RBIs today. He had 4 yesterday, 9 RBIs in this series. And Jubert goes down swinging on that one for the second out here in the inning.
Next up for Texas Southern, first baseman number 29, Miguel.
So Miguel Morales now will dig in here for the Maroon and Gray Tigers. Morales 1 for 4 today. Singled all the way back in the first. Also stole a base. Miguel Morales continuing to get it done at the plate here for Texas Southern. 4 home runs on the day for the Texas Southern Tigers as Morales will line that one into left field for a sharp single. So Elijah Rodriguez now comes up to the plate for the Texas Southern Tigers. Rodriguez 1 for 3 today. And that one will slide back to the backstop as Morales is able to move up to second. Elijah Rodriguez 1 for 3, also has an RBI. Got his RBI on a sacrifice fly back in the 6th. Here's the pitch. That curveball's up. Texas Southern, 11 runs on 14 hits. Mississippi Valley, 4 runs on 12 hits today. As the count goes 2-1 here on Elijah Rodriguez. Here's the pitch. And that one is up and away. Count goes to 3-1. And now here on Rodriguez. And Rodriguez able to coax the walk as he will move to first. So now runners will be on first and second here for Texas Southern. So Sean Williams now comes to the plate for Texas Southern. Williams 0 for 3 today. Had a better day at the plate yesterday, where he went 2 for 5 with a couple RBIs. Big moment here for Sean Williams. Try to pad this Texas Southern lead. It looks as though Mississippi Valley State Brain Trust will come out to the mound and make sure everything is technically proficient. Here for Gage Dush. So now the meeting of the minds. Hopefully everything is kind of cleared up out there here for Gage Dush. Sean Williams will get ready to dig back in here. Look out there at the wind. It is blowing hard out in the left center field. Old Glory at full salute out there. Here's the pitch. That one is up and in. Williams looking for something to his liking. Here's the pitch. He'll foul that one back. As he got a fastball right down I-10. But he fouled that one back. Here's the pitch. Curveball, and that one gets in under the bat of Sean Williams. So count goes to 2-2 now. Here on Sean Williams. Here's the pitch. That one skied straight up, and that one will be fouled off. And that'll be a snow cone ball for somebody back there. So Sean Williams stays alive. Tough with 2. is Sean Williams. Here's the pitch. A swing and a miss, and Williams goes down swinging. Well, the Delta Devils get out of the inning without any more damage. But once again, Byron Robinson gets the job done as Texas Southern plates another run across. 11-4 is your score. We move now to the ninth inning. Texas Southern on top. We'll be back here on the Texas Southern Sports Network. Welcome back in here to the Texas Southern Sports Network. As a new pitcher coming in for the TSU Tigers is Dalton Alford.
Ladies and gentlemen, there has been a pitching change for Texas
Dalton
Southern.
Alford.
Give it up for number 18,
He's
Lucas Valencia.
a grad student out of Port O'Connor, Texas. 5'11", 185 pounder.
Luke Richard for Mississippi Valley State. Leading off.
So Luke Richard now will pitch hit now for Tom Early.
Hey, I don't got Lucas for TSU as 20 or 18.
So Dalton Alford pitching here. Chops that one out to Jubert. Jubert will make the throw across for the 5-3 put out.
I'm saying TSU, I got Alfred at 18.
So Chris Soder now. Or there will be a pitch hitter now for Chris Soder. So coming into the game now to hit in Soder's spot will be number 10, Johnny Escobales.
For Mississippi Valley State, Johnny Escobales Jr.
So Johnny Escobales Jr. now getting an opportunity to swing the bat here for the Delta Devils. So Escobales up there swinging. He'll foul that one back. Count goes to 0-2 now. Here on Johnny Escobales. Escobales, he's a freshman, East Bridgewater, Massachusetts. He last saw action against UNO, where he pitched in that game. And he saw at-bats against Arkansas Pine Bluff back on March 13th and March 14th. Went 0 for 1. on March 14th against the Golden Lions. So dual threat guy here. He throws and get an opportunity to get some swings in here for the Delta Devils, down 11-4. Here's the pitch from Alford. Swing and a miss, and Alford gets the K.
Now batting for Mississippi Valley State, number 13, Ty Burns.
So Ty Burns now will dig in here for the Delta Devils as he will pitch hit here for Eric Williams. So Ty Burns, 6'4", 215-pounder from Tulare, California, Mission Oaks High School. We'll take a look at that one for a strike. So Burns saw action against the Golden Lions. Had an at-bat on the 14th and also had an at-bat on the 15th of March. Went 1 for 2 against the Golden Lions in that one. Count 1-1 here on Ty Burns. That'll dance in the dirt, so it'll be 2 balls and 1 strike. Burns takes a look at that one, gets across for a strike. So last chance to dance here for the Delta Devils as they're down to their last strike. Here's the pitch. That one skips off to the right. So 2-2 coming in here on Ty Burns. And Alford walks Burns there. So Burns will trot down to first.
Did 13 check in?
Noah Bufford up to bat for Mississippi Valley State.
So now, Noah Buford now will dig in here for Mississippi Valley as he'll pitch hit for Stephen Landez. Buford will take a look at strike one. So Buford, he's a junior from Birmingham, Pinson Valley High School. Getting in that bat here for the Delta Devils. And that one gets across for a strike. So Dalton Alford trying to close things out here for Texas Southern. Here's the pitch. Chopper. Joubert coming across, and it'll go off of his glove. So Joubert trying to make the play over there at third, unable to make the play, so it'll be an E5 on Evan Joubert. So now Aiton Meyer will pitch it for Cody Lemmy. So Meyer, he's a sophomore. He wraps that one foul from St. Genevieve, Missouri. St. Genevieve High School. Meyer went 0 for 3 in the series against Arkansas Pine Bluff. Had a 2 for 5 day against Alcorn back on May 1st. Had another 2 for 5 day against UT Martin back on May 6th. And that one gets in for a strike. So now 0-2 here on Aiton Meyer. So here's the pitch. And Meyer goes down swinging. Rodriguez will throw him out down at first. So Texas Southern will win game 2 here.
Thanks for coming to McGregor Park this beautiful afternoon.
So Texas Southern has secured the series,
Your Tigers
winning the
play
first 2 games here.
tomorrow with the first pitch.
Texas Southern, 11 runs on 14 hits. Mississippi Valley, 4 runs on 12 hits. Big day today at the plate for Zachary Pace. He went 4 for 5 at the plate. Byron Robinson, huge day at the plate for the Texas Southern Tigers. He went 4 for 4. Added 2 more home runs today to the legend for Byron Robinson. Well, it's been another fun day here at the ballpark. As we look forward to tomorrow, it will be 1 o'clock first pitch for Texas Southern and Mississippi Valley, as Texas Southern will go for the series sweep. Well, Jose Lucioni, he is the winning pitcher. Chris Brown will take the L, as Lucioni will pick up another win on the ledger. Well, on the behalf of Texas Southern's president, James Crawford III, interim athletic director, Dr. Paula Jackson, we want to thank Texas Southern athletic staff for presenting you with another great baseball game here. Again, Texas Southern with the win over Mississippi Valley State. And in the words of the great Ernie Banks, Mr. Cub himself, it's a beautiful day for a ball game, so let's play 2. Until tomorrow, folks, this has been Charles Bishop. Good night, everybody. Nice touch.
We did that.
The interview? We did that. Good shit.